Wake up, wake up.
I got the champagne. We're gonna need it.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Your favorite street plugs are here to deliver. Good morning. It's your girl Bia.
And your girl Key.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Champagne Mornings.
It is the 14th?
November 14th, episode 8. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Everything's been great here.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
We've been moving.
Need a nap episode, but...
Definitely. So we're going to get right into it this morning. We're going to start off with the segment we start off with every day. It's called It's Too Early for This. Kiana, what you got for us?
So you guys know about those fires in Cali that Cali has every year because Cali just wants to burn to the ground. Convinced it's officially hell, you know? But anyways, let me tell you that Kanye and Kim Kardashian are so fucking rich. They afforded private firefighters, which I didn't know was a fucking thing.
I didn't either. Well, I guess anything can be bought.
Firefighters, nigga? I thought they was the good guys. Like, that ass thought they was the good guys.
I mean, they good. They gonna make sure Kim and Kanye's house is good.
Yeah, no, Kim and Kanye's house is great. Everything
That's crazy.
around that shit is in shambles. I guess they saved their neighborhood, which was probably just Kim, Kanye, and the rest of the Kardashians' homes, knowing them rich motherfuckers. But yeah, afforded private firefighters to make sure that their shit didn't burn down.
I need to be that rich.
That's what I'm saying. How the fuck do we making that happen, bruh? If we catch on fire, we ain't gonna worry, bruh.
Man,
We're
listen.
gonna have them on call and shit.
When I get my community, our community will have firefighters on deck just in case we have a wildfire. We're in Washington, though. I mean, Eastern Washington had some wildfire issues at one point, but you know that's not something common here. Remember when Cali was trying to get us to send water down?
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago? And they were really upset that Washington wasn't sending water down?
Cali people. Like, yo, they used to talk shit about Washington. I'd be like, look, nigga, at least we got water.
Right. It was like, you guys have enough fresh water to send down. Like, then what we gonna do? We need our water too.
What if we drought?
Not even that. Who's gonna pay to irrigate it down there?
Cali.
All right. And then a little bit of entertainment news before we get into the show. So if you guys know, every Wednesday we do review a book. This Wednesday we are doing
Don't Forget Your Crown by Derek Jackson.
Jackson, spelled Jackson, if you want to look him up. Hopefully some of you guys have at least read the book. If not, you know we're going to go through it and talk about a whole lot of everything in it.
A whole lot of shit.
Before we get into that, we also have a little bit of history I'm going to go ahead and talk about with you guys as well. On our show Monday, I mentioned the MOVE bombing briefly in a subject that we were talking about. And we were talking about how a lot of people don't even know about that MOVE bombing.
Yeah, that I only found out about it, kind of just stumbled upon it like a couple years ago. Like it wasn't something, and when I posted on Facebook, it wasn't something that many people knew about. They ended up researching it, and we had a whole dialogue.
So we're going to go ahead and go through that. And before that, a little bit of entertainment news. Jill Scott. So yesterday, I had to look this up because all I seen was meme after meme of dudes like dressed in Mike costumes or like me being a Mike in Jill Scott's house. And I'm like, what is going on? So I guess she showcases her oral skills on stage.
Yep.
You know, pretending like the mic is that thing. And she went in. I watched the clip.
I watched it too.
I said, okay, Jill Scott. I mean, we know. If you listen to her music, you know. But I was like, okay, she going viral on that one, though. She ain't playing.
She got her name back up there.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song, and then we're going to get into some more the history first of the MOVE bombing. This song is called Take Me Back. It's by an artist named Xavier Lawrence. He's from Columbus, Georgia. He's currently resides out here in Tacoma. Let's go.
You are now tuned in to an Xavier Lawrence music exclusive. You dig? Look, let me take you back ever since a youngin'. I've been out here thuggin', hustling and scrambling. 92, my mama had me, then put a bro in the oven. I was running around singing Prince, and I never really thought this music biz would make me rich, but I make these hits now. Let me take you back to when I was really doing nothing but hoping and wishing. Had major talent, had all the women, no ambition, just to give the gab with hella swag. Let me take you back to the beginning, yeah. And when I say back, I mean like 4 flats. You know how to say and go. Shout out to everybody on the east side, from Forest Road way to the Dub. It's all love, baby. Columbia, Georgia to Tacoma, grinding hard till I make it. Haters hating, I know that's why I blow this hydro each and everywhere that I go. You think I'm blind cause my eyes low, I promise ya I see everything and everybody moving around me. Moment of silence for the ones we lost in these streets to violence. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me take you back ever since a youngin', I've been out here thuggin', hustling and scrambling. 92, my mama had me, then put a bro in the oven. I was, oh, yeah. Let me take you back ever since a youngin', I've been out here thuggin'. Verse 2. I never really thought this music biz would make me rich. Let me take you back ever since a youngin', I've been out here tussling. I remember fist fights after school, but now these youngins bustin'. What's going on? The young homie just said he saw the judge and he gave him 240 months and it was all for nothing. Damn, 20 years, he ain't even seen life. 20 years seemed like your whole life. 20 years old, I was slinging dough. That's a secret that my family didn't know. Shit, fuck it though. That's a price to pay when you're getting on. Everybody replaying and singing along. But fake niggas gon' be fake niggas. Only real bitches gon' get paper with you. All these niggas tryna do is cross you over. Trust me, I been there and dealt with that. I'm from AZ4 when niggas ain't playing no games. Flex, you might get busted. And trust that, I stayed in my own lane, created my own way. Plugged in with real niggas across the map. I stayed down, waiting till my album's out. Oh, yeah. Let me take you back ever since. It's been a long time coming. I spent a lot of years in this shit, you feel me? Scrambling 92, my mama had me, then put a bro in the oven. Oh, yeah. Let me take you back ever since. I want you to feel every word that I speak, cause everything that I speak is true. I never really thought this music would make me rich.
All right. Again, that was Take Me Back by Xavier Lawrence out of Columbus, Georgia.
That is my shit.
He killed that. All right, so getting into this history of the MOVE bombing. So MOVE was actually the name of the organization. It was founded in 1972 by a man named John Africa. MOVE is not an acronym. That was just the name of his group. And they were based out of Philadelphia. So their first altercation with law enforcement came a year after their inception when the police tried to evict them out of their location. They weren't going for it. They fought, of course, and one of the officers ended up killed in the altercation and others injured. 9 of the members of MOVE were sentenced to 100 years for this, for the death of the officer mostly, obviously.
That's fucked up. 9 people took 1 murder charge. When y'all came to them, literally
100 years at that. Not even just like 20... Like
30,
20,
25 to life, maybe, chance of parole. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
They said sit and don't talk to me no more. Because y'all came and tried them on their property.
Right. So then in 81, they moved to a new house, a row house. And the section that they had, they boarded up the windows. They built a fortified rooftop. They blared out political lectures and news to the community through blowhorns at any hour of the day. They did receive some complaints for that. But nothing excessive because mostly they're educating their community about what was going on in the government. You know the government doesn't like that.
At all.
And basically telling a lot of the blacks to just basically stand up for your rights. And that, even if you don't stand up for your rights, we're definitely going to stand up for ours.
Facts.
So then on May 13th, 1985, the police came to bother them again and it went down.
All the way down.
So first off, check this date. 1985.
Our older brother was born that
Some
year.
of you listeners were definitely born
and
alive and
kicking it
in 85. That's crazy.
Not that long
Your
ago,
parents were having you obviously around this time. Like, they're grown adults. 1985, this happened. But anyways, the police came. They had warrants for 4 of the members. So they did ask for the 4 people that they actually had the warrants for to come out peacefully. They weren't doing it. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where the police have warrants for somebody and they want to come into your house, but a search warrant and an arrest warrant don't give you the same
authority
at all. So these guys had arrest warrants for these 4, not for search warrants. But so they were trying to get access. They were trying to get access, and they weren't. They don't even know if these members are in there at the time.
They're just assuming.
They're assuming that they are because they're part of the organization. But they had arrest warrants, not search warrants. So that means that if these people are here and you know they're here, yeah, you can arrest me, or you can arrest them, but and you can even come in to arrest them. But you can't just enter into their property. You can't break down their door. You can't, at least in Washington State. That's not how that works. I've been in a situation where I've been in the house with somebody who had an arrest warrant compared to a search warrant. I've been in a house where people had search warrants. So I know a little bit of the difference, you know. But this was in Philadelphia, so I guess I won't say too much more about that. I don't exactly know all of their rules. But they had more than 500 officers there.
For 4 people. Well, I mean, last time they tried to run up on these niggas, 1 ended up dead, and what'd you say, 4 injured?
I don't know how many were injured. Actually, I know 9 people were sentenced, but I don't know how many officers was actually injured in the fight.
Well, basically, they got their ass whooped. They wasn't coming solo again.
Right. So, but 500. So they had. That means you
that's your
actually
entire police force plus some.
Yeah. Plus you called in from your surrounding cities for that.
Yeah.
Over 500 officers. They discharged over 10,000 rounds of ammunition within a 90-minute period into this building. Nobody came out.
Didn't the building eat it though? Like
nobody came out. Nobody surrendered. So. Obviously, bullet holes still went through some of it, but as far as them gaining entry in all of that, like, they didn't. They definitely secured their building. Great.
So whatever they built their house or their fort with, I need them to come reinforce my house with.
If we have anybody, when we build our community, we're definitely going to need some reinforcements.
Because you know they coming for us.
Hopefully our community don't try to bomb us, but if they do, we got to be ready. But anyways, MOVE didn't surrender.
At all.
So the police commissioner at the time, his name was, I don't even know how to say his name, Gerger Sambor, whatever. He gave an order to actually bomb the house. So they used the plane, they dropped the bomb from above onto the roof, and we told you that they reinforced the roof. But the roof did end up catching fires. They told the firefighters to actually just let it burn, because even when the roof collapsed, they were scared that if they enter into the building or try to, or if they stayed in the area, period, they left the area, that if they stayed in the area, period, that the MOVE members were going to come out and retaliate against them.
Which is probably a real fear.
They should have been scared. You just bombed their building.
You let, what'd you say, 10,000 rounds off and then bomb my shit, bruh?
Right.
You should be very scared.
The
fact that you're scared with 500 officers that are all armed.
What makes it worse is the MOVE building was attached to residential properties. It's a whole strip of housing.
Right, but it was black housing. They didn't give a fuck. That was the problem.
Exactly. That's what made it way worse. So, anyways, it ended up catching the whole block, obviously. It just spread. They showed up the next day to clean up the rubble, find bodies, that kind of thing.
Remember, you guys, this isn't something that happened way back when. This is
1985 in Philadelphia. And it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people wouldn't know about some of this, because we find a lot of things that people don't know about. It's crazy in itself, for sure.
It surprises me still. Like, that's a huge thing. How did we not at least hear stories? Because I could get why it wasn't televised, but, like, family and shit.
That's crazy.
That should be one of those stories that were told. Passed down.
And Philadelphia is actually one of the places that's on my list of things to visit. There's a couple cities that I want to visit, and I have no reason why, actually. Philadelphia is one of those. The other one is Texas. Dallas, Texas
Yeah, I was gonna say
specifically.
Texas isn't a city. But
Yeah, Dallas, Texas specifically. I don't know why, but
You've
I'm
been
gonna
wanting
make
to
it
go
there.
To Dallas for years. now.
Literally.
For no reason.
I even contemplated moving there.
Yeah,
remember?
You woke up one day and was like, Dallas sounds like a great idea. Like, no prefix, nothing. It was
Facts.
just Dallas sound like a great, and it's been that way since.
I'm gonna go there.
Did you have a dream or something?
I don't know. But yeah, you guys make sure if you're in Dallas, tap in with Champagne Mornings. Find us on Instagram. All of our followers, please find us on Instagram if you haven't already. But tap in, inbox me if you're from Dallas. Let's set up some work. Give me a reason to come down there.
Facts. I'm always down for a trip, so wherever y'all want to tap in with us from,
we'll be in. Yep, we'll be going to LA next month, the weekend from the 14th to the 17th. So if you in Los Angeles, make sure, or that surrounding area, make sure you tap in with us as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into Don't Forget Your Crown. The book is written by Derek Jackson. Before we go into that, I'm going to go ahead and play you a song. It's by one of my favorite R&Bs. We're going to switch the tone up a little bit and throw some R&B in here. Wax the producer. Yep. The name of the song is Play. He just dropped this, I want to say last week.
Oh, he listened to our request?
He did. He dropped it on SoundCloud. And then he also sent it into the review. And he actually won Song of the Day on Monday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, see what happens when I miss a day. I miss all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. So, again, the name of the song is Played. The artist is Wax the producer.
Oh yeah, you ain't tryna get saved no more, no more. You ain't tryna get played no more, no more. Say you want something real. Tell me how much more time you gon' spend wasting on that nigga bank. That you ain't gonna get played, yeah, 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 yeah. If you don't wanna be played, yeah, 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 yeah. You don't wanna get played, yeah, 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 yeah. What more can I say? I remember back when you would call me Vincent, tripping by his actions, just for the reaction. How could you not notice? Was you looking past it? Why you keep a man who betrays you every chance he gets? It so absurd. How does he have the nerve? I'll never understand trading diamonds for a gem, girl. You need someone to be good to you, not someone always getting to you. I can make love be a living for you. Just make room for the passion, no. Stop going against your feelings. I know you prayed out, I know you prayed, cause you ain't tryna get saved no more, no more. You ain't tryna get played no more, no more. Say you want something real. Tell me how much more time you gon' spend wasting on that nigga bank. You ain't gonna get played, yeah, 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 yeah. If you don't wanna be played, yeah, 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 yeah. If you don't wanna get played, yeah, 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 yeah. What more can I say? I mean, what more can I say when you know he treats you wrong, when you know the real reason why I wrote this song, girl? Why you holding on, girl? Why you holding on? If you don't wanna get played, won't you swing my way? If you don't wanna get played, what more can I say?
All right. Again, the name of that song was Played. The name of that artist is Wax the producer. And we're going to get into this book, Don't Forget Your Crown by Derek Jackson.
This book, I literally had to pause multiple times and just reevaluate my whole entire existence.
And we got so much different out of the book because I didn't have that experience at all. I was just reading it like, that's interesting. Okay.
You know what's funny? I was reading the book and I was talking to Tiff, and I was like, you know how most people got an inner kid? Yeah, I got an inner fuck nigga. My inner me is an ain't shit ass nigga. I was like, damn, bruh. I need to get my life together.
For some reason, when I was reading his book, I kind of like, it didn't give me personally much to self-reflect on, but it did call out some situations that I know I've been in or that I've witnessed, and it was actually a good read.
It was a good read. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So Derek Jackson, he's a self-love ambassador. He has multiple videos online. He has a website where he's constantly promoting self-love. The most common meme that always goes around, and he actually hates it because he mentions it on his sites all the time, is the one that says, if your girl's listening to him, she's about to leave you.
He hates that shit too. He hates that meme.
He does. But honestly, I mean, if they self-reflect and they realize that a problem's with you, then they need to leave. It's just facts. But I'm just going to say at the beginning of this conversation, family first. Okay?
Flo said
family first. That's my answer. So Derek Jackson, he has this card game. It's called Mentally Stimulate Me. We actually bought this game about a year and a half ago.
And we've played it so many times and have hella fun each time.
It's hella fun, especially on a drunk night or a game card night or like our sibling night.
Yeah.
We've played it.
I played it. I brought it to a drunk night. It was all of us. It was like 30 of us in this fucking apartment drinking and playing games and shit. Shit's funny.
Yeah, he's from Yonkers, New York, but he was raised in Enterprise, Alabama. He is married.
Which hurt my heart.
He is married.
That
and
hurt my heart.
that's something I've always
him.
wondered. Like, because he gives all of this advice, I'm like, does he even have a girl? Like,
And
how
he never
valid is
addresses,
this?
Like, he doesn't really address that either.
And he does talk about that in the book.
Right, but I'm saying, like, him on his pages and shit.
Right, and we'll talk about that later because he does mention why in the book. They have rules, literally, about not going on social media with their relationship. He's actually not allowed to, basically, by rules of their relationship, talk about them on his online videos or their kid. He has a kid.
I know. All of that hurt my heart reading. I was going for him. Y'all just don't know. That man is fun. That's
what she says. They also only seek professional help when they have problems in their relationship. That's one of their rules. Maybe. I don't know if a stranger can really help me like that anyway.
But your friends are biased as shit.
I don't go to my friends with my problems either, though. I usually internalize them and make my decisions and then let everybody know the decision I made.
Is that healthy either, nigga?
I don't know. But that's what I do. I do. My last relationship I got out of, he was like, dang, none of your friends like let me know that something was about to come. My best friend, she was like, you told me. Like, you told me after the fact, after it was already done. I was shocked too. Like, yeah, that's usually what I do. I don't like to take outside influences to make my decision. And I've mentioned that before. Like, that's just how I want to.
That's how you move.
That's how I move. I like to make decisions on my own. It's different than taking advice on something more professional or something like that. But then when it comes to my love or life, relationship life, yeah.
We know I don't ask for advice. Like, we've literally had conversations where you're like, I know you didn't ask for advice, but Kiana, and I'd be like, listen, I don't listen well, so I don't even ask for advice at all. I'm that friend. If I ask for advice, I'd be that friend that asks you for advice and did the exact fucking opposite. So I just save you guys the frustration and don't ask for it, except Bia over here offers it and then still gets mad I don't listen.
No, I don't get mad that you don't listen. I just point out that you could have avoided your stress by listening to me. And I couldn't do that if I didn't give you my advice, unwanted or not.
You want to be able to say, I told you so.
Yeah. Trying to get you, listen, I mean, we have two different learning styles. I like to learn from other people. You like to learn from yourself. You go through shit, you go through some shit that I'll never go through because I actually learn from other people. You're like, nah, fuck that. That's your life, not mine. Oh, wait, it did apply to mine. Damn it. Going back to the book, don't forget your crown. So the whole book had nothing to do with that title.
At all.
At all. That he uses that sentence once in the very last page of the book. Usually the name of a book, like somehow the story builds into it. Not this one. But it was catchy. It's catchy as fuck.
I remembered it.
So first conversation I'm going to get into is, can women and men be friends? He doesn't think so. He said that's not possible, and it's worse if you've seen or pictured them naked. And this is after you've been in a relationship.
Like breaking up and then going back to friends?
No, if you're in a relationship, having other, in our case, it would be male friends, having male, like, really close
two of my
friends.
Closest friends are dudes. One's actually an ex, I guess, technically. But one of them, never been anything. I've known this man for years. And we're hella cool. He's the reason I went to Mexico. No. Like, we're friends and that's it. And that's where it stays. I don't see the problem with it.
I grew up around a lot of males. So growing up, I've always had male friends. I still have a lot of male friends. And it doesn't affect my relationship at all.
Yeah, that's never been a problem. Actually, him and my ex got along fine. Both of them and my exes got along. Both of them and my ex got along fine. He knew both of them. He knew when I kicked it with both. It was never nothing. It wasn't even suspicion.
I'm definitely friends with somebody that I've slept with before, and we're really good friends, and it never comes, like, we don't even have any conversations, anything near something sexual at all. Like,
Same.
we truly vibe, but
Same.
not in a way that would make us want to be in a relationship.
Yeah. That's one of them. Like I said, two of them. One of them's an ex and one of them's not. The one that's an ex, me and him decided really fast that we don't do relationships well, but that was still my guy. And then I became the friend that just helped him be ain't shit.
So then that kind of leads directly into something that you pointed out in the book when he talked about fleeing into the emotional comfort of other girls, creating situationships, and that turning into cheating.
Yeah. Like I said, this book wrapped my life, right? So mine's didn't go to the extent of cheating. I do think mine's is part of the reason where I stopped the fight, though, in the relationship, stopped putting the full effort. Because like he said, you go to yes men. Like, you go to those people around you who hear only your side of the story, and they're your yes men. They're the ones in your ear. You deserve so much better. So much better wasn't them, because none of them niggas got played. But, you know, and ego strokes and shit. His turned into cheating. He actually ended up cheating on this chick that he knew. And in his eyes, it wasn't cheating until then.
And she just switched subjects in the middle of a sentence on you guys when she says he in this situation. It's not the dude she was with, but she's talking about Derek Jackson, the author.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry.
I do that.
I was following you.
Derek Jackson says it wasn't cheating until it got to that point. Me looking back and also reading through that chapter was like, yeah, it's kind of emotional cheating at that point. Like, I know for a fact that's part of the reason why I didn't fight for my relationship like I could have.
Outside influences.
You're right. Outside
See?
Fucking influences.
That's why I don't do it. Like, I'm just playing.
Well, I don't,
but
anyway,
yeah, but I'm just saying. I was just talking shit.
That.
One thing that I pulled out from the book was when people only see the negative in something until it's almost gone, and then you see it for what it was. He explained it as people having somewhat of a near-death experience that restores their appreciation for what they've lost. Now, that one specifically stood out to me because I literally had my ex say that to me. He was like, I know I wasn't doing everything like I was supposed to, but when you really left, it's like, he was like, you know how when people talk about they almost died and then they changed their whole life because of that near-death experience? That's how I feel. Literally, like, exactly what he was talking about. Yeah. And I remember just looking and just like, just kind of just staring and blinking my eyes like, wow, it took all of that.
That's some ain't shit though. Because I think that's overly done. People don't realize, they just take advantage. Like, they get it, they get comfortable, and then now it's just that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, the quote I'm going to read this exactly like it was put in the book because this is the quote that I actually seen online. He posted on his social media, and it's actually what made me pick the book for this to be our book of the week. It made me want to read the book. And I don't even ever read any type of relationship type books. It's just not me.
Usually I can't see how it's self-applied. Clearly this one wrapped my life in a pretty little present and handed it to me.
Right. So it said the truth was she had unconditionally loved me in action form, and with every day that she did, she loved herself less because deep down she knew she deserved better than the things I'd begun doing. She allowed herself to tolerate so much of my disrespect for the relationship that it ate at her original identity and nestled its way in as part of what she taught herself was normal. Without condition, she continued to love me, and it cost her herself. And that's when she became someone else. That paragraph right there, that is what wrapped my life.
Yeah, that wrapped mine too.
I was like, wow. The last one that I got out of, and that's exactly, like, his words, he said exactly what I had been saying. Like, I wasn't even me anymore.
Yeah, that's true. And we had all noticed you weren't you.
But nobody
addressed it.
Yeah,
and everything.
Everybody. It was so evident. It took me a minute to get up out of that spot that I was in, and then in hindsight, I was like, that's somewhere I will never go again in my life, ever. To the point where I lose myself caring for somebody else. And what's crazy about that is all my life, ever since I was a teenager, I've always said I don't love nobody more than I love myself. But then when time came,
Clearly
I ended up proving myself wrong because at that moment, I obviously cared about him more than I cared about myself because I let myself dissipate.
Yeah, you faded.
Yeah.
Definitely faded to a shadow of yourself.
For sure. Coming back up in the world, though.
We making sense.
But it was hard to get out. That was a rut that was real hard to come up out of.
Which kind of segues us into our next topic on the book, where it's like the support system girls have. Like, if they don't have that support system, then it's hard for them to come up out of it. Mm-hmm. And that's currently going on with my friends. Like, as a whole, we've been kicking it together nonstop because all of us actually just went through a breakup.
Yeah, and he talked about that in the book of having the support system and how girls are actually the best with that. They'll clear their whole schedules when their friend calls and says that they need that time because they're going through something in their relationship.
Hannah has texted me, best friend SOS at 2 in the fucking morning. You know what I'm doing at 2 in the morning? Okay, let me text me. You know what happened? I answer my fucking phone.
Clearly she wasn't asleep, but yeah.
Yeah.
You just telling on yourself, that's all.
It's cool. Listen, I'm hella single. Well, how did he say it? I'm riding in the city with a drop top with my windows down and another nigga's car single, okay?
That's too funny. One thing that I pointed out, I thought it was good. This is a quote from the book. He said, anytime they say it's worse when a woman cheats, they are saying it's better when a man does, as if a man's pride is worth more. That's crazy.
You just gotta sit on.
That speaks for itself.
Yeah, it just makes you think. It goes into your own head. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, but that's society.
That is.
That's how society sees it. We both had notes in this book about this book, and this is probably the one thing that I noticed both of us had notes on.
We're totally different though.
Safe sex, safe distance. What's your interpretation of that?
Well, first off, that's my current life situation. I'm taking it as I'm not looking for a relationship. Needs need to be met. Fuck that. I'm a human. Needs need to be met, but I'm not trying to be in love with any of you niggas. I'm not trying to be with any of you niggas. I'm not off any of that, okay? I'm solo as fuck.
Safe sex, safe distance to me is definitely safe sex. Speaks for itself. Safe sex. Safe distance to me is a distance away from my everyday life. Oh. I would not talk to anybody who is in my immediate circle. I wouldn't talk to nobody who's always around my immediate circle. Like, I need you to be far enough away that it's not, Exactly, like an estate that's not mingling with my life.
Nah.
And yours is an emotional distance.
Yeah, no. I need me. Like, you guys have
I need a
heard every
physical
time
distance.
we've
Not
spoken on
necessarily
relationships.
too physical of a distance where, nigga, I don't see you. That's obviously, then there's no even sex to have safe sex like that.
Listen,
that
I
doesn't
need
work,
somebody I
but
can pull up on.
I need to be able to pull up on you too.
Every other day.
You can be in the same city, but if you're distant from my group, then that works. But I need some type of distance. Because I know too many people. See, that's the other problem that I have. That's the other problem.
What color unicorn you want?
That's really my problem. I know too many people. I'm related to the other half of the people in the city.
Right, you got to be from out of town first off. That's a major one. You from here to Doug.
If you're from here, I already know you. So
That's true.
probably. There's not many that I don't, at least in my, age range. So that's a problem for me. We're still working on that. He talks about having one person to sleep with. Well, so he went through this thing where he was just sleeping with hella girls, looking for no relationship.
And it wasn't fulfilling him at all.
So then he figured that maybe if I just find one person that I sleep with all the time and still don't build a relationship with them, that wouldn't work. I think that would work perfectly fine for me.
I'm living it.
I've had that.
I'm currently living it.
I've definitely had that where it was just that one person. Me and him never got there was never a talk about being in a relationship because it was understood that neither of us wanted to be in a relationship.
I think we addressed that the first time and have not addressed that since. It's been no problem.
And we were then and still able to just kick it on some normal friend stuff and actually enjoy each other's company.
See, that's where I cross out because the first time I tried it, I tried to be able to kick it with some normal friend shit and that one left. He got feelings attached. I got called an asshole. I might be an asshole, but if you didn't get feelings attached, you wouldn't know that side. Now, I don't kick it. It's pull up and dip. I get called an asshole for just pulling up and dipping, but that's what it is. Fuck that.
Oh my God.
Like I said, my inner me is an ain't shit ass nigga.
Oh my goodness. I'm very good at retaining friendships. I'm actually really great at retaining friendships. But in situations like that. We obviously know you're not. We'll move on.
Hard fast.
Another quote directly out the book: due to wanting to be wanted so badly, a lot of women defer to denial for peace of mind because the truth is too painful to accept. I see this all the time. Literally, I see my friends go through that all the time. And you're looking from the outside in girl, if you don't
just nigga. Yeah, no, I see that one all the time.
It's crazy. And then being around a female in this position and then they make excuses to you to help themselves in the moment.
I'm the asshole because my last friend I tried to do that. She went on her rant, a 20-minute rant of excuses. Well, he did this, but excuse. He did this, and I was like, so who are you convincing right now? Me or yourself, bruh? Because I gave up on your story a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Who are you trying to convince of the bullshit right now?
Oh, I see it a lot with girls who are the side girls who try to convince themselves that they're not the side girls.
I see it a lot with main girls that try to convince themselves there is no side girl, or that by him coming home and not staying with them, it's better. But
at least my man comes home to me every night.
That's where his PS4 and his clothes is. Where he gonna go?
That's so crazy, but that's exactly how they do, And a lot of girls will actually allow a man to keep their belongings in their house so that he has a reason to come back and visit them.
So they can use that line.
Even if he don't come home every night. They be so excited when he comes home, too.
I ain't seen you so long, babe. The fuck I sound like.
Those be the same girls oh, my man's calling me. I gotta go. What? I thought we was having girls' night. But he called me.
When I seen that one girl's video when she was like, if daddy calls, I'm going to daddy. Bitch, that means you ain't getting it
regularly.
That means you only get it maybe once a week in my eyes. I'll swerve a nigga quickly for my girls because you're on call, nigga.
My thing is there has to be balance. Respect. I need you to, if you're in a real relationship, they're going to respect your schedule anyway. It's not going to be, you're not going to have to rush to see them. You're going to make time to be with your friends, you're gonna make time to be with your man. Like,
That's how life works.
yeah, it's big. A note from Kiana.
Oh, this chapter, don't be a hard rock when you're really a gem. This chapter wrapped my life so cold, okay? Like, I know he was talking about a girl named Nia, but I called Tiff, my best friend, and read her the chapter, gave her no pretext, said, listen to this, read it to her. She said, did you just write an article about yourself? Nigga.
Oh, wow.
Like, wrap my life, because it addresses, so I'm hella single. I'm not looking for a relationship. I just got out of a long one. I'm good right now, you know? I'm on self-growth. I'm on building. We're on our business, you know? I still talk to niggas. I still enjoy going on dates. I still have that one dude that I'm smashing when I want it, you know? Like, I still do all of that, and he's like, that's not, if you can't get out of a old relationship, then do that. Mind you, the girl went through a divorce, even though her divorce was crazy. She, like, found out her husband of 10 years was smashing his male best friend the whole time. Like,
that's what she found out.
Photos
and everything.
And then I had to pause right there because I would have caught a case.
One note that I had in the chapter is he needs to know himself before he can know you. And that's kind of how I handle talking to dudes in general. Like, when they go through, they come up missing for a while, or they're going through this, that, and the next. I don't give it much attention because I need you to go ahead and find yourself, because I'm not trying to deal with the you that's not found.
See, and I made the mistake of being willing to deal with somebody that didn't know themselves.
Yeah.
I made that mistake, and then I tried to give him the time, so and say, in the relationship to find himself, and that shit still didn't work because you still didn't know who you were, even though you took the time, so and say, supposedly to go find yourself. And then you came back, and we had the same fucking issues.
It's crazy.
But yeah, back on that chapter. Basically, it's all about how, like, you cut off the emotional side and don't really pertain to your emotions. You get your needs met. You date. You have your fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, should you really be doing that? I still say, hell yeah. Like, wrap my life all you want. That's still how I'm going to move. I'm not off that. I'm not looking for anything. You can't convince me to get into shit right now.
But in that same sentence, people make time for what they want. He did talk about that, and that's the same with you too. Like, you're saying all this, you don't give a fuck, you this nigga, that nigga, whatever. But if you want to make time for somebody, you will. And that's with any relationship. If you want to make time for somebody, you're going to make the time.
Oh, I've always said that. You make time. The busy thing, like, you can be busy, but you can also make time. I'm just saying I'm not making time for a full relationship. I'm not allowing that emotionally or with my time.
One of the notes that I had in this book was what he said: men love a confident woman. Men love a confident woman that they can have. And that was just hilarious to me, because you see, like, dudes do want you to be confident, but if you're too confident and they can't have you, then you become too independent. Bitch. You become stuck up. You become just every other name that they can think of because they weren't able to pull you.
I see that a lot. I experience that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Attitudes, because I'm good.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. He also talked about how though men don't want someone damaged or dwelling in the past, he will actually have to hear these things if he truly loves her. And then I had a side note that said, I wouldn't have continued to talk to me. This came from a conversation that I had with somebody. They were asking me about my current situation. And I told them, I'm like, yeah, I was married. The person I was married to, I was with for basically a decade. And it's
been over a decade.
No, it hasn't.
You met him when I was like 11.
I was 21. Yeah. It hasn't been over a decade.
Oh, you got 6
I know my age. Okay, that's cool.
You sure? Because I've forgotten it before.
I did. One time I thought I was 25 2 years in a row, and I'm dead serious. Kiana was like, you're not 25, you're 26. I said, no, I'm not. She said, you're 10 years older than me. I said, well, how old are you? She was like, I'm 16. Well, I guess I'm 26. Okay. I really forgot my age, you guys. Don't judge my life.
For a whole year, though.
Don't judge my life. Okay. But, yeah, I thought that was a good point, too, because it kind of speaks to me as well, because sometimes I'm interested kind of in what you went through before. I want you to tell the story so I can see how much blame you're actually going to place on the other person.
And how much on yourself.
Mm-hmm. And how you perceive that other person. If you talking to me and you just want me to believe that person ain't shit and fuck them and they did this and they did that, there's probably a problem in that, because I know that relationships that I've been out of, yeah, they went sour, but my conversation about them would not be that ill.
Same. I don't think there's one, even with all the dumb shit I went through, it's just straight fuck them.
Right. So that was one thing. Actual verbiage of Kiana's note in this book matched my hustle as well as all the lovey-dovey shit.
Pretext. Bro.
What are you talking about?
Because the part he was talking about was, yeah, you should find someone on your equal. Like, we shouldn't be downgrading. It was talking about how women basically go for their lower. Like, you might have it all, might have your businesses, may have your shit together, but your dude might still be living at home with his mama. And it took me back to the conversation we just had on Monday about the ring, where it's like, would you accept that $50 ring? Fuck no, I can afford more for myself, bruh. So if you can't match me, my hustle, my grind, what the fuck are you offering me other than sex?
So give her the hustle and all the lovey-dovey shit.
She was in tears about that note. But yeah.
That was so funny to me when I read that note on the book. I was like, oh my God.
Right. All the lovey-dovey shit. You know, the cute shit that y'all be posting on Instagram and shit about y'all relationship goals? Yeah, we want that cute shit when we want a relationship. But can you match my hustle? Are you going to get out here and grind?
Right. Last note that I pulled out of the book. It's not about what speaks the loudest, but what speaks the truth. Shortly after that, he also says your patience to let his patterns speak over time is going to be your lie detector test.
That is facts.
Don't rush into stuff too soon.
That is
Give
facts.
it time. Give time to be able to notice a pattern. You can't notice a pattern the first time you notice anything. The patterns take time to develop. Literally, in mathematics, you have to have at least a sequence of 3 to make a pattern, to be able to call it a pattern. So if you haven't even went through, something or had a conversation or anything to gauge it, you need time to be able to tell. And that's going to be your lie detector test. Are they going to be consistent? Is it going to happen all the time? Or is it going to fall off because it's just something that they're perpetrating?
The only time we do not wait for patterns is domestic violence. And he speaks on this. There's a whole chapter about a girl that fucking lost her job because her dude popped the tires and was beating on her and put her in the hospital and some more shit. We don't wait for time or patterns on domestic violence. He put his hands on you. You call one of your brothers, beat the fuck out of him, and be done with that at that exact moment.
If you don't have any brothers, just find somebody. Talk about it. If you notice your friend is in a domestic violence relationship, one, if they tell you they're in a domestic violence relationship, believe them.
People don't believe them.
There's times where people say that and they'll be like, oh, well, that's not really a big deal. I personally know a story where somebody in my family, she moved away to college and she got with this dude and he ended up beating her up. Long story short, he ended up beating her up because he was super insecure. She called another family member that's not on my side of the family, and that person told her, well, just go talk to him about it. I'm pretty sure it wasn't supposed to be all like that. It's probably not that serious.
I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to just beat the fuck out of me.
He threw her through a door and literally got on top of her and was punching her.
I have a friendship that's the only reason I've kept this friendship open. Like, I don't really vibe with the person, but I've noticed they're in a domestic violence relationship that they won't address. And I've talked to them about it, and they're like, oh, it's not that bad. And I kind of just keep that friendship open. That way she always feels she has somebody.
And if that's what you need to do, that's a great thing to do. Be there for the person. Seek help if you don't. If you notice your friend is in a domestic violence relationship, make sure you acknowledge with that person that you notice it, not in a judgmental way, but just so that they know that there's somebody that they can talk to because, hey, this person already noticed it anyway.
Right. What happened once where I think she came to my house at like 2 a.m. because they had got into it and had fucking bruises where she had got snatched up and all that all over. Mm-hmm. And I let her in and went back to sleep because it was 2 in the fucking morning. I had to go to work the next morning. But no judgment, no conversation was even had. She just hopped on the couch. I went back to my bed. I woke up and I went back home.
And this is something serious to me because I've lost 2 people really close to me to domestic violence. I lost my older sister, my only older sister that I had. I'm the oldest girl now. And my best friend.
Yeah.
And both of those, it was crazy. My best friends, I mean, with my sister, it was kind of like something that he did to her that caused additional problems, and it was like a slow death kind of thing.
I think that's really fucked up though, because we watched her suffer for years, bruh.
Mm-hmm. Trying to fix it, and it was just something that couldn't fix.
Trying to not let it affect us as her younger siblings, like still trying to be who she was to us.
And be in good spirits and not be sad every time you're around this person because you know their days are limited. Even though you try to believe that it's not, and that we're going to be able to find
a magic cure.
Right. The other one with my best friend, she was shot 8 times. He showed up to her job because she was leaving him. She showed up to her job 6 o'clock in the morning. She was a RN and lit her up right there in the front desk.
In front of everybody.
In front of everybody. He ended up getting killed by the police after a chase on I-5. But it took me a long time to accept her death because I think that I kind of felt like I could have did more. She had been in domestic violence relationships before, but I would tell her like you gotta stop, and then it got to the point where I just told her like, I don't even want to hear it no more. And that's where the problem is, because I said I feel like, to me, now she had other friends, she could have talked about it, she could not, but when I said I didn't want to hear it no more, she actually respected that. And from that point forward, we actually never talked about her relationships. She would say she got a new dude, and I'll be like, oh, okay. I never really kicked it around them because, I be moving. I'm always busy. So that was one that we never actually talked about. And I didn't realize it was as bad as it was. I didn't want to hear about it no more at that time because I'm like, fuck it. If you're going to stay with him, like, what's the point of you keep stressing me out about it?
Same type of relationship.
But they need that outlet sometimes. And I feel like don't close off that outlet. That's all I'm saying. Because you never know.
Because you might just be that blessing. They're already comfortable talking already comfortable talking about it with you. Just let that happen. It's frustrating as fuck. I know.
Right. Last thing we're going to get into from this book, then we're going to play a song and we'll come back in here and end today's session. But he had what he calls the 5 phases of no return. He says that men follow this forward and women follow this backward. Phase 1, the comfort phase. They get comfortable in their wrongdoing. Then they go into the single phase where they're acting single, even though they may be hiding it. This is the phone face down stage, phone on silent stage, or hiding under the pillow while you're sleeping, things like that. And then the investigative phase where they're searching to find out what's going on with their partner, why there's a distance. Is my partner cheating on me too? That kind of thing. Then the heartbreak stage. Obviously, that speaks for itself.
Right.
And then the fight phase where they're doing whatever they can to try to get their relationship back. And it's probably, if you're getting all the way down to this phase, not working. And I believe exactly what he says when he says women follow this backward. So women are going to be in the relationship when they go through their fight phase.
Right.
They're going to fight for the relationship, try to do whatever they can to make it work. And then they go to the heartbreak stage where they realize, fuck,
this shit ain't working. There's nothing I'm going to do to make this shit work. It's deaded.
Mm-hmm. And then they start investigating, searching for what the other person's doing. Who is it that they're messing with, or who is it that's having this influence? Maybe I should check their friends' pages and things like that. And then they go into their fuck it. their single phase, whether they actually break up with the person or do the same thing and start moving in a way that makes them want to leave, whatever. And then they get comfortable in it. And once they get comfortable in it,
it's gone.
It's the phase of no return. I thought he put that very well. What do you think?
I love how he put that.
And I think he's right. I don't know.
I told you this man rapped my life like a million times.
He's right. So again, that was Don't Forget Your Crown, Derek Jackson. Find this book if you still want to read it. There's a whole lot more in there. Even though this was a long episode, there was so much more he talked about. So it's definitely worth still reading.
Notes.
Yep. I'm going to go into a song. This song is another R&B song because I feel like it just goes so well with what we're talking about today. The name of the song is Side Effect. The artist is Dre Love. He's out of Memphis.
I'm sick of everybody telling me it's gonna be okay. They must have never been in love. They must never felt this way. True love hurts when you really get it, and when your heart really feels it, and something stupid kills it. You wonder how you gon' make it through without your baby. You're one and only. It's so hard to sleep alone. But these pillows ain't gon' do it. Turn your back on me, now I gotta deal with it. I don't know what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna make it through. Girl, my heart is broken. I don't know what to do without you. Baby, you got me. Side effects got me wishing I had never heard you. All day long I think of side effects got me wishing I can turn back time to erase the love we had. Baby, you got these side effects, yeah. I had never met you. Cause you won't get out my head. All day long I think of you. These side effects got me wishing I can turn back time. I can't eat, I can't sleep. Something has come over me. I can't breathe, yeah. What kind of spell did you cast over my mind? I don't have control no more. Said you walked out the door. Big rooms feel like small spaces. And all the other girls I see, they only have. It looks like I can't get over you. Oh, and I'm trying over and over. But somehow you turned your back on me, and now I gotta deal with it. What I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna make it through. Girl, my heart is broken. I don't know what to do without you. Baby, you got me. Side effects got me wishing I had never heard you. All day long, nothing but side effects got me wishing I could turn back time to erase the love we had. You got these side effects, yeah. I had never met you. Cause you won't get out my head. All day long, nothing but side effects got me wishing I could turn back time. Sleeping alone at night. Baby girl, you got me feeling these side effects. Girl, you know because of you, I ain't running down. You got me feeling these, and I don't know what to do. No. You got me feeling these, you got me feeling these, you got me feeling these, you got me feeling these side effects. Side effects. You got these side effects. You got these side effects, baby. Side effects got me wishing I had never met you. I don't know what to do. Only long I think of you. These side effects turn back time. I don't wanna remember. I don't wanna remember. All day long I think of you. These side effects got me wishing I can turn back time.
All right. Again, that was Dre Love. The name of that song is Side Effect. From his album Red Zone on all major platforms. Make sure you guys check that out. He has a fire-ass mixtape, too, actually.
Yeah, he does.
Might want to check that out as well. So, again, appreciate everybody who's been listening this whole time. We see you guys tapped in from different parts of the country again. So we appreciate you guys there. Make sure you share about the show, talk about the show, hashtag Champagne Morning so that we can see and shout you out as well. We're going to be in LA.
Yes, I'm so excited. First off, I'm excited to see Sun.
Yeah, for real. I don't even kind of halfway know what to pack because it's been so cold here.
Man, it's been that once I get home, don't talk to me weather.
Yeah.
'Cause I ain't going nowhere.
So we'll be in LA from the 14th to the 17th. If you want to network with us, if you want us to host for you, anything like that, make sure you hit us up. You can inbox us directly or email us at champagnemorningshow@gmail.com. Upcoming events out here in our area. Don't forget about the Black Party for Martin Luther King Day. That's in January. On that Sunday before Martin Luther King Day, we're turning up, and it goes down.
It goes. If you guys haven't seen the video, speculating where they got me twerking in, everybody twerking in, and we return.
It goes down. It's a very good time and a great celebration at that. We have the Secret Sesh coming up this Saturday. If you don't know about the Secret Sesh, it's because it's a secret. We don't give you a whole lot of details, but it is 21 and up.
It's a sesh.
It's a smoker event. So if you want to be part of that, you do have to. It is by invite only. So how you get your invite is you inbox us and request a reservation, and we'll respond to you. So you can find any of the Street Plug page, Instagram, Facebook, Street Plug DJs. Find it, inbox us, and we can get you in that secret sesh on Saturday.
Please don't ask for the address yet. It won't be released until that Saturday.
And only if you're invited.
And only if you're invited. And then Friday, Cure, DJ Cure and Jig are back at Lady Luck.
Okay, Street Plug host, Street Plug DJ.
Yeah, Street Plug.
We're going to go ahead and close out this episode. As always, we do it with a black business, and today's Wednesday.
So it's Working Women Wednesday, and we want to shout out Nikki Niche. Am I saying that right?
I think it's Nikki's Niche.
Nikki's Niche?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I can't talk. We know this. But yeah, it is by Anita Beck. She makes her own skirts. She matches them to her purses that she gets African printed. She also makes the African head scarves, and she's a mobile boutique. So you hit her up, go find her, and she will come to you. As always, she'll be posted on our Instagram so you guys can find her and figure out where to tap in with her. But she has some cute stuff.
Really cute things.
I
got a cute
steal
purse.
That purse from you.
I got a super cute purse from her. I love it. I get compliments literally everywhere I go for that purse.
Yeah.
And it had a matching bigger bag that I talked myself out of buying, and I wish I wouldn't have. But, you know, the purse is still popping. But, yeah, Anita Beck, she's a mobile boutique. Contact her if you need anything. She'll actually come to you. You can always check her out also at the Black Arts Love event that happens twice a year in Seattle.
She's at a lot of
it's dope.
vendor events that are dope. In Washington State. She goes to a lot of them, the pop-ups.
For sure. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you again for tuning in to today's episode of Champagne Mornings. We will be back here on Friday, bright and early, 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we are here every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday
at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure to tap in with us as well as follow us on Instagram at Champagne Morning Show.
Poppin', Street Plug DJs. Let's go. Thank you, guys.